श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः paradharmaत् svanushthitat. Svadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavahah.
Welcome, dear friend. Today we sit with one of the most quietly life-changing verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 35. Listen to it first. Shreyan svadharmo vigunah paradharmat svanushthitat. Svadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavahah. It means, better is your own dharma, even done imperfectly, than the dharma of another done perfectly. Better even to die in your own dharma. The dharma of another is full of fear. Let us open the word slowly because in Sanskrit the medicine is often inside the roots. The word Shreyan means better, superior. It comes from the same family as the word Shreyas, which the Kat Upanishad uses for the truly good as opposed to preyas, the merely pleasant. So already in the very first word, Krishna is telling us this is not about what feels nice. This is about what is good in the final accounting. Svadharma. Sva means one's own. Dharma comes from the root dhri, which means to hold, to uphold, to sustain. So your dharma is literally that which holds you together. It is the pattern of action through which your particular nature sustains itself and sustains the world. Fire's dharma is to burn. Water's dharma is to flow. Your swadharma is the work that is yours by nature, not by fashion. Vigunah means deficient, flawed, lacking excellence. And on the other side stands svanushthitat, from the root stha, to stand, meaning beautifully executed, perfectly performed. Feel the deliberate contrast Krishna builds. Your own path done badly, someone else's path done brilliantly. And he says the badly done one wins. Then the second line goes even further. Svadharme nidhanam shreya. Nidhanam means death, the final end. Even death within your own dharma is better. And then the closing thunderclap. Paradharmo bhayavahah. Bhaya means fear from the root bhee, to be afraid. Avahah comes from the root vha, to carry. So paradharma is literally a vehicle that carries fear to your door. Notice the poetry of the roots. Your own dharma holds you. Another's dharma hauls fear into you. Now where does this verse live? We are on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna, the greatest warrior of his age, has collapsed in his chariot. And here is the key. His crisis is exactly a confusion of dharmas. He is a kshatriya, a warrior, whose duty is to fight for justice. But facing his own teachers and cousins, he says, I would rather live as a beggar, as a renunciant. It sounds so noble, so spiritual, and Krishna sees straight through it. This is not renunciation, he says. This is escape wearing the costume of virtue. You are coveting another man's dharma because your own has become painful. Just before this verse, Krishna has explained that every being acts according to its prakriti, its inborn nature, and that attraction and aversion sit hidden in every experience like ambushers on the road. Verse 35 is the practical conclusion. Since your nature will express itself anyway, give it its rightful channel. Do not let aversion to your own hard duty and attraction to someone else's glamorous one steer your life. Now let us go deeper into the psychology, because this is where the verse becomes a mirror. Why is another's dharma fear-bringing? Think about what happens when you live a borrowed life. First, you are always performing, so you carry the fear of exposure, what we today call impostor syndrome, named by Sanskrit 25 centuries early. Second, your benchmark is always outside you, so you carry the fear of comparison. You can only ever be a second-rate version of them, never a first-rate version of you. Third, your fuel is borrowed. Status, approval, applause. And borrowed fuel must be constantly refilled from outside. Dependency is the root of fear. But when you walk your own path, even clumsily, something remarkable happens. Imperfection stops being a threat. On your own path, a mistake is simply growth. On an alien path, a mistake feels like being found out. That is why Krishna can make the radical claim that even failure, even death, in your own dharma outranks success in another's. The self that fails at its own work fails whole. The self that succeeds at borrowed work was never present to enjoy the success. And notice the trap the verse dismantles. Krishna concedes you might perform another's dharma brilliantly. Svanushthitat, perfectly executed. Competence is not the test. Just because you are good at something does not mean it is yours to do. Skill in the wrong direction is only faster self-loss. This wisdom echoes across the world. Emerson wrote, "Envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide." Almost a direct translation of this verse. Nietzsche said, "Become who you are." Modern psychology confirms it. Research on self-determination shows that goals driven from within predict well-being, while goals swallowed from outside predict anxiety even when they are achieved. Even economics agrees. The principle of comparative advantage says the whole system prospers when each of us does what we are relatively built for. So how do we live this starting today? Let me leave you with 3 questions and 1 practice. First question. Where in my life am I executing someone else's dharma with excellence? What am I good at and rewarded for that still leaves me feeling like an actor? Second, what is my imperfect Svadharma? What work do I return to without being asked, where failure feels like learning rather than exposure? That fingerprint of fearlessness marks your native path. Third, can I use my fear as a compass? Wherever there is chronic anxiety, chronic comparing, chronic dread of being found out, suspect paradharma there. And the practice. For 1 week, keep a simple evening log with 2 columns. In the first, note the moments when work absorbed you, when nobody's watching mattered. In the second, note the moments of performing, comparing, seeking approval. After 7 days, look at the pattern. Then take 30 minutes a day from the top of the second column and give it to the top of the first, even though you will do it imperfectly, especially because you will do it imperfectly. That is the whole discipline of this verse, choosing your own flawed, authentic action over polished imitation, daily, until the choice becomes your nature. And whenever a big decision comes, pause for 1 breath and ask, am I doing this because it is mine to do or because it looks good on someone else? Shreyan, Swadharmo vigunah, paradharmat svanushthitat. Better your own path, though imperfect, than another's path walked perfectly. May you walk yours without fear.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः